Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. In this tutorial, I'm going to explain how to write the line equations. So, in general, we might have a line, and this is a common thing to do in electrical engineering classes, that you have a line like this, and you want to write the equation of this line using the unit step function. Unit step function looks like this. U of t, let's say it is shifted by some constant ut0. The unit step function looks like this. It starts at t0, let's say, and it is 1 when t is more than t0, 0 otherwise. So this is the unit step function. And I want to write the equation of this line using the unit step function. Now, there is in general a method that I explained in class. It's a bit long. Today I'm going to use a shorter method that's explained by the book. The book is suggesting that each time I see a slope change, okay, so for example, when you see here the slope was 0 and then it changes to m0. Okay, so what you do is you add here a ramp. The ramp function looks like this. R of t. The ramp function looks like this. If you want to scale this, and it has a slope of 1. Okay, let me explain in details, or in some details. So this is the ramp function. Okay, and you can express this as t times u of t. This is called a ramp function. If you want the ramp function to have a different slope, okay, let's say that you want to write this ramp that has a different slope, okay, and you want it to start at t0, for example, okay, so this is, of course, you scale this with some slope. So let's say this is m0 r of t, okay, which you can write like this. m0, it's not r of t, it's r of t minus t0. So you can write this as m0 t minus t0, let's say u of t minus t0, like this. u of t minus t0, something like this. Okay, so the book is suggesting that each time the slope is changes. So for example, here the slope was 0. No, let's take this example. Okay, here the slope of this line was m0 and the slope of this line is m1. So at this point here you add a segment or a ramp like this. You will subtract m1 minus m0, so the new slope minus the old slope, and you add a ramp at this point. Okay, so this is t minus t1 multiplied by u t minus t1, like this. And here you will add a ramp, but it's shifted at t2, and the slope is going to be m2 minus m1. And for this segment is going to be m0 minus 0, because the slope of this line is 0. Slope of horizontal lines is equal to 0 in general. So let's see how we can use this to write the equation or to solve our quiz, the quiz that we took before. Now it was a bit long question, but I wouldn't say it is difficult. You have to get used to this type of questions. So let's say here I have line segments. I have blue and then red, and then I have this line segment and this line segment. Each time the slope changes, I'm going to give it a name. So I'm going to call this, or let's just write the slope. This has a slope of m0, this has a slope of m1, this has a slope of m2, and this has a slope of m3. And don't forget that we have this is m4, and m4 is equal to 0. It's important to remember that you write the equation of this, or consider this segment in here after 8. Okay, so here for I have the indices. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then let me calculate the slope for each of these segments. Okay, slope is simply the delta y over delta x. So m in general is equal to delta y over delta x, but I don't have x, I have t in here. So it's delta y over. So if you have, let's say, these two lines, okay, and this is going to be, for example, x is 6 and y is -2, and here you have x is 2 and y is 2. So in this case, to calculate the slope of this segment, it's going to be -2, this is -4, and then 6 -2, this is 4. Let me make this clear. This is 6. So -4 over -4 is equal to -1. Okay, so I'm going to calculate now the slopes of each of these segments. So for this one, delta y is, I always start from the right point minus the left point so that I don't get confused. فعندي -2 -0, this is -2, delta y -2 -0, and delta x is 1 -0, so this is 1, so this is equal to -2. And then for m1, this is m1. Okay, m1 should be, let me write it like this, -2 over 1. Okay, for this segment in here, this should be 2 till -2. This is 2 minus -2. So this is, let me write it, 2 minus -2, because I know some of you get confused. So -2 minus -2, and the delta x is 2 minus 1. So this is 2 minus 1. So this is 4 over 1, which is equal to 4. In a similar way, okay, let me shift this here. Okay, and let me put this in black. In a similar way, I can calculate m2. m2 in this case is equal to -4 over 4, which is equal to -1. No, not 4. This is 6 minus 2. It is 4. It is 4. So this is -4 over 4. And for m3, m3 is the slope of this line. This is going to be 0 minus -2. This is 2 over 8 minus 6 is 2. So this is equal to 1. And then finally, I have the last one is slope. Okay, here I'm going to write Ti. What is Ti? Ti is simply where the segment starts. So for this blue segment, when for m0, Ti is equal to 0. For T2, for T1, for the right signal, m1, for m1, it starts at T is equal to 1. For this segment, this long one, that has a slope of m2, T starts from 2. Okay, and then finally for this segment, it starts from 6, and the last segment starts from 8. Okay, here what I'm going to write next is mi minus mi minus 1, and this is multiplied by t minus ti, and then multiplied by ut minus ti, like this. Okay, so let's just, for this one, the previous slope is the slope of this line segment, which is 0. So this is -2 minus 0. فعندي -2 هنا. Okay, multiplied by t minus 0, that's t. t minus, let me write it, t minus 0 is equal to t. Okay, and then ut minus 0, like this. Okay, so that's for the first line segment, and then for the second line it's 4. This is the current slope, this is the previous slope, so you subtract the previous slope from the current slope. So this is 4 minus 2, that's 4 plus 2, and then here you have t minus 1, u t minus 1. And for the next one you have minus 1 minus 4, that's minus 5, minus 1 minus 4, minus 1 minus 4 is minus 5, and then t minus 2, that's u t minus 2. And then you have next 1 minus minus 1, 1 minus minus 1, that's 2. And then t minus 6, u t minus 6. And then finally you have, this is a slope of 0, so this is 0 minus 1 is minus 1, so this is minus 1. And then I have here t minus 8, ut minus 8, like this. And then you can write f of t. Of course here you can distribute the multiplication over the addition, so this is going to be minus 2t u of t, okay, plus this is 6, so 6t minus 6, 6t minus 6 u t minus 2. بعدين عندي minus 5, this is plus here, I have minus 5t plus 10, okay, and this is multiplied by u t minus 2, and then I have plus, and then here I have 2t minus 12 u of t minus 6, and then I have minus t plus 8 u of t minus 8. And of course the answer here is none of the above, because we don't have this term in any of these. Let's see now another example. Okay, let's do now the same thing. Slope here is going to be m0, this slope here is going to be m1, this is going to be m2, and then I have m3, and then m4, and then m5. This line does not have any meaning, it just means that you have a jump here between minus 2 and 2, so it's not really a line segment. Right. Let's do now the same thing. Okay, horizontal lines have a slope of 0, so let me have here, what do I have? I have I, okay, and then mi, and then ti. This is where the segment starts, and then finally I have mi minus mi minus 1, t minus ti, u of t minus ti, like this. How many segments do I have? I have m6 in here, don't forget this one. Here m6 is equal to 0. So I have 0, 1, 2, 3, and then I have 4 and 5 and 6. I have 6 segments. And for the slope, horizontal lines has a slope of 0. So this has a slope of 0. Okay, and m3 also is equal to 0, and m6 is equal to 0. Okay, now for this segment اللي هي M1. Okay, M1 is -2. Let me write it here. -2. Let me write it here. -2, which is difference from here to here. This is -2 -3, so this is -5. -2 -3, and then 4 -3, that's 1, so this is -5. Now M0 started at 1, M-5 started at 3. Okay, I said this is not a line segment, so I have M2 here, M3, M4 and M5. Let me fix that quickly. M0, M1, M2 is equal to 0, and I don't have 6. I have M0, M6 is equal to 0. Okay, and M2 started at 4, and then M3 started at 6, and for M3 the slope is 0 -2, so that's 0 -2 over 7 - 6 is 1, so this is -2. And then for the fourth segment it's -3, this is -3 -0, -3 -0, 10 -7 is 3. Okay, so this is -1. And then finally I have the 0 over there. Segment 3 started at 6, okay, and segment 4 starts at 7, segment 5 starts at 10. So here we note that the slope did not change. Okay, but we have to start this somehow. So it looks like this is an it's okay. So this is going to be 0 -0. Well, I cannot write 0 -0 because this is a line at 0 like this. So I have to write here. So this is a step function basically. So it's good that we came across this example so that we know what we are doing. So we are going to start at 3 ut -1, like that. It has to be like that, because if I wrote the slope is equal to 0, then this is a line at 0 like this. But I don't have this case. I have 3 ut -1. Okay, so the next one is going to be -5 -0, that's -5. Always the current slope minus the previous slope. This is the previous slope, -5 -0. Okay, and then this is t -3. Okay, u t -3. Okay, and then I have the next slope is, okay, so here I'm going to write this slope minus this slope. So this is, so it's, the exception should be only at the beginning, it looks like, because I need to have this line in here. You have to understand some background here. You cannot just follow the method blindly. طيب, for this it is 0 -5 -5, so this is 5, and this is t -4 u t -4. Okay, and then here you have -2 -0. Okay, this is -2, and then you have t -6 u t -6, And then here you have minus 1 minus 3, that's minus 1 minus 1 plus 2, that's 1. And then you have t minus 7, u of t minus 7. Finally you have 1 again, and this is t minus 10, u t minus 10. And then you sum these up to get f of t. So f of t in this case is equal to 3ut minus 1, okay, plus minus 5t plus 15 ut minus 3, I wrote this, okay, plus I have 5t minus 20 ut minus 4 plus minus 2t plus 12 ut minus 6, that's this term, and then you have t minus 7 ut minus 7 then finally you have t minus 10 u t minus 10, like that. And from the choices, well, you see here 3 ut minus 1, so this is possible and this is possible and this is possible, okay, and then minus 5t minus 15, okay, it's not here, minus 5t minus 8 times ut minus 3, okay, so this is ut minus 3, this is ut minus 3, and none of them is multiplied by minus 5t plus 15. So the answer again is none of the above. So thanks for watching, hopefully this was useful. Don't worry much about the grades. I'm going to redistribute the grades and give you some points on the steps, but worry about understanding how to write this line equation. This is a skill that you have to learn, so make sure that you understand how to write the line equations. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.